The Acolyte just completed its first season, and there's a lot of controversy. Today we're going over the finale, and this is a Blisstake because it's good, but there's also some bad, and we'll go over all of it. So the episode starts off right where episode 6 leaves off, and already I think this is a mistake. Obviously episode 7 is crucial to the story, and it needed to happen before the season ended. I think having it right before the finale is a little bit of a misstep because it just completely ruins the momentum from episode 6. I'm not really sure why Camille entered the same state Torben was in because the witches forced that upon Torben and all Camille did was kneel down.
She had her hand outstretched. She was killing Soul.
So she obviously saw herself killing Soul and thought it was May, and that's fine, but when she puts on the outfit that she killed Soul in, wouldn't she realize that the person she saw was her?
What happened to you, to your coven, was an accident.
Yes, we know. The entirety of episode 7 was 40 minutes of Soul telling May how it was an accident, and now he's just going to repeat it again in one line, thinking that's going to do it. May escaping in the small ship was honestly pretty cool. This shot was awesome as well, I don't care. This is like pure Star Wars right here, despite what you think of the show. Basil, for some reason, helps May escape, and I can't figure out why. I guess he might have heard the story Soul told her. Both of these twins are insanely good at crash landing ships. Coruscant looks beautiful in this show, and that's one thing Disney always gets right.
I think the Jedi are a massive system of unchecked power, posing as a religion, a delusional cult that claims to control the uncontrollable.
People for some reason will swear that this is the first show that's painting the Jedi in a bad way, even though they're literally referencing the prequels in this scene.
When you're looking up to heroes, you don't have to face what's right in front of you.
This guy is great. This is a great cameo, and somehow people have convinced themselves that it breaks canon even though it's not true. Let me tell you why. In part 1 of the Plagueis novel, which is set in 67 BBY, Palpatine asks Plagueis how old he is, and Plagueis says, "In human years, I would be well over 100. Now let's just say that means 115 because we don't know for sure. That would make Plagueis born in 182 BBY. If the Acolyte is set in 132 BBY, that would make Plagueis 50 years old at the time of this cameo, which makes perfect sense. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Jedi only use their hands as a way to exert the Force when doing things like Force pushing, not sensing things.
There's a landing site near our fortress. They're already there.
No shit, didn't you come here because they were there? I should have honestly made a counter for how many times a character hears young Osha or May yell mama. This fight is insanely cool. I don't know if it tops episode 5 for me, but it is some of the best choreography of the Disney era. I get not liking the show, but if you're a Star Wars fan and you can't at least enjoy a cool lightsaber fight, even if it's meaningless to you, then you have something else going on. People can hate on Amandla Stenberg's acting all they want, but I think she did a fantastic job in this scene, making May look like Osha from the early episodes, just scared and worried, and making Osha look like May from the early episodes, just full of emotion and letting it control her. I love when these fights switch between who's in control. I guess Camille just forgot he had a second lightsaber on the bottom.
I wanted to protect you both.
I think she gets it by now. You've explained that to her 3 times.
I don't know how your mother did it. She created life.
People want to say this ruins Anakin Skywalker because it doesn't make him special, but that's wrong for 2 reasons. 1, Anakin was special because he was the chosen one. Osha and May obviously aren't chosen ones. Number 2, their births differ because Anakin was created as a result of the Force. Osha and May were created as a manipulation of the Force. Kind of like how the Night Sisters did it, but obviously a little bit different.
You killed our mother.
Yes, I did.
Why was that so hard? Didn't you just tell her that on the ship? This is actually super well done. It's sad to see the development of how their relationship has changed over the course of this season, and obviously Camille pushed Osha to become this person, but overall it's pretty much because of Soul. And Soul didn't have any bad intentions, but
Someday those noble intentions you all have will destroy every Jedi in the galaxy.
such a good line. For those who don't know, when someone turns to the dark side, all of their hatred basically floods their kyber crystal in their lightsaber, causing it to turn red and bleed. I like how they incorporated it into the show, but the problem is the speed at which this happened. It takes time for this to happen. Like, look at Anakin in Revenge of the Sith. He was still fighting with a blue lightsaber on Mustafar, even though he was way further into the dark side than Osha is right here. So I'm pretty sure this confirms that Venestra was Kamir's master, which I think is a pretty cool addition and something that Season 2 can explore.
They couldn't have gotten far.
What are you talking about? They have spaceships and shit.
I can attempt to wipe her memory, remove any trace of you or me.
This is actually so good. It's a sacrifice for every character on screen. For Kamir, he's sort of risking it because he doesn't know for sure if it'll work. But I do like how they set this up earlier in the season when Kamir asks Soul not to do the mind wipe on him.
Please don't do the memory wipe thing or whatever it is you guys do.
For Osha, she's pretty much losing her sister, and May is losing herself. The only thing I'd say is they haven't made us care enough about these characters to make it as emotional as it could be. I could have been crying during the scene, but I wasn't because they just didn't make me care enough, but it was still a very good scene.
Do you know why you're here?
They say I killed someone.
Once again, her acting is so good. May seems like a completely different character. This whole scene switching between Vernestra's conversation with May and her cover-up story with the senators is so well shot and so well done, and the music playing over it is amazing as well. I love this scene a lot, and it answers all of the concerns about breaking canon in a pretty satisfying way. For those of you who think this show broke canon, I'd love to hear why in the comments because I cannot figure it out for the life of me. This is a great shot and also a great setup for a possible season 2. You can tell next season is going to be a lot more focused on the Sith. We might have more Plagueis, but Osha and Kamir are together, and I think it's a really interesting combination. I think adding Yoda at the end is also a great addition to just sort of connect everything a little bit more. But anyway, let me know what you thought of the episode. I thought it was a great finale, even with all its faults, and I'm excited if we ever have more of this show.